Here she comes.
Okay, great.
That was very difficult.
Oh, well done, Carolyn. You're looking gorgeous nevertheless.
We're all here and we're all good.
And we have the company of angels. I hope you brought them along.
No, they were listening in action. That's what happened.
Yes.
10 minutes late. What happened?
All right, so Carolyn, welcome to the show. We've just been, Jeff was just basically looking to put up the picture of the book that you have written called Listen, the Angels Speak. And I think that was published about 2 years ago, is that right?
More than that now. Quite a long while ago. No, can't see it. Never mind. Yes, I did publish it. And it was a lovely book. And I've sold a lot of copies. A lot of people get a lot of joy from it. It's one of those books that you can put by your bedside, and if you're having trouble sleeping, you can turn to a page and get a message from the angels that'll settle you down for the night.
So, Carolyn, when did you first start speaking to the angels, or when did they start speaking to you?
So that's an interesting question. I always thought it was not until 2007 or 6 or sometime around then. But more recently, I have remembered an event that happened in my childhood that was pretty scary. I was at boarding school at the time. I was only 10 years old. I was a long way from home, as you can imagine, at boarding school, and quite scared. I was actually only 9, just turning 10. And I was downstairs on a weekend when there was very few people around. And as I came back out from underneath the building into the light, I was struck by this beautiful golden white light. And it was just overpowering. It was immense. And it was so beautiful and so full of love. I remember the love. The love just tears at my heart even today to think of the amount of beautiful love coming from this beautiful, beautiful angel. I know now that it was Archangel Azriel, but she never told me her name at the time. And she gave that little 9-year-old child all the wisdom to fix all the problems of the whole world. I don't know how long I was there in this vision. It was a proper vision. Now, usually when I see the angels, my eyes are shut and I see them in my subconscious mind. This was bright daylight. I was wide awake. This is the only time that has happened to me in my whole life. In fact, I don't know anybody else that this has happened to. It was a proper vision. So I was excited and I started telling people all about this beautiful vision and the wonderful things that this angel had said to me and how beautiful it felt and all of the glory of it. And I was just so overcome and so excited. I only told a few people, and straight away the teachers locked me in the infirmary and I wasn't allowed to talk to anybody. I was locked up for over a month, I think about 6 weeks.
You're joking? A whole month for a 9-year-old. That's crazy.
They had specialists come and see me. They wouldn't let me talk to my family. I wasn't, normally you can talk to your mother if you were having problems. They wouldn't let me talk to my mother. They wouldn't let me, I don't think I was even allowed to write to my mother. And it was a really dreadful, dreadful time. They caned me with this huge cane all over. They held me by my hair. Luckily, I had good, thick hair. They held me by my hair and just whipped me all over with this huge, big cane on several occasions. It was really dreadful. I had to either admit that I was lying about the angel or I was mad and had to go to an asylum. That was the 2 choices I was given. And I remember after they had belted me with this big cane and I was just stinging all over, I climbed in between the sheets and I put my head down under the sheets and I said, I am not lying. So I was really tough, for a little girl so far from home. I don't know where that strength come from. it must have come from the angel, because it was just enormous. The whole dreadful ordeal was just. But now I remember it, and now I love it. Now I want all that beautiful wisdom and everything back from that angel. I just loved that angel and still love that angel, and that angel is still with me. Azriel is still with me. Sometimes so much with me that I can feel her with my hands. She's just so beautiful. But they are all beautiful, all of the angels. I've had some remarkable experiences, but that is the one experience of my life that. But I had forgotten that experience for over 40 years. So after I was belted and locked up for 6 weeks, my mother probably finally came for me and my family. She believed I was lying, that there was no vision. And I went home and I couldn't, it was like another week or something before I could talk to my father about it alone. And when I did, he said, yes, Carolyn, I've no doubt that you saw something. I've no doubt that there was something there. But you can't talk about it, because if you talk about it, they will take you away from us and lock you up in the asylum. This was 1962. So they were pretty primitive back there. Then haven't we come a long way? Little girl who saw an angel today would be loved and cherished.
It's all about discrimination, isn't it? Another form of it, isn't it?
Yeah, horrendous discrimination. It was all right for the Catholic girls overseas to see the visions of Mother Mary, but it wasn't all right for me to see that angel. It wasn't acceptable. But it must have been given to me for a reason. It must have been, even though I went through a lot of hardship because of it, I would not trade that for the world. I would not want it taken from me.
And when did you, so I mean, that would have put off anybody off sort of seeing angels or talking about them. Sort of what happened between then and when you started channeling them for work that made you comfortable with doing that again? What was the journey of healing there?
My dad said to me at the time, you've got to put this away for now. For now, it's not acceptable. You've got to put it away. Put it away till you are older. And I must have put it away for 40 years, I think, because, or 50 years maybe, because it's not that long ago that I remembered it. I'm 67 now. I was 10 then. So that's 57 years ago. But it must have been 55 years that I put it away and didn't think about it at all. Then, like 15 years ago, I started doing Reiki, and with the Reiki came the angels. They just came in naturally. Whenever I was working on somebody, their guardian angel was there, my guardian angels were there, Jesus was often there with me, helping me with the healing, and I had to accept them because they told me things. They told me on one instance, I met a lady at a service station in a remote outback New South Wales, and I knew straight away that she had a large malignant tumour. And I knew where it was in her stomach. I showed her where it was. Strangely, she believed me. She went straight to a specialist, and next time I saw her, she'd had it removed, and it had been a very dangerous malignant tumour. It had to follow up. Yeah, it's just incredible. So they tell me things. You can't deny when you have wisdom given to you that is true. You can't deny it. You have to accept that they are there. And this happens to me over and over again, that I get the messages. They are there to help somebody, and miraculously that person is helped with the messages. So I've got to believe in it. I've got to believe in that angel. And I wasn't lying. I'm not a liar. I don't lie about it.
Yeah.
And at the time I said, angels belong to God. You can't lie about angels. I told them that. And I still believe that you can't lie about angels. So that's part of my philosophy now. When I get the angel messages and messages from the divine masters, they are divine. You can't lie about them, and you most certainly can't change them. You can't add your bits to them. You've got to make it as pure as you can. I add, what they look like at the top and how I feel or something at the bottom. But that's always in different writing and always separate from the message. I try to keep the angel messages as pure as I can. And this is part of the deal that I have with the angels, that I do deliver them very clearly. They have shown me other beautiful divine texts that were channeled through from angels and how they have been changed over the years by people who thought they knew better than the angels. If you're going to change a message from the angel, you must believe that you're better than angels. It's a pretty big ego, isn't it?
So one of our listeners has commented that they could always tell when angels were there because they could smell incense burning and tremendous warmth in their chest. What signs do you have? What signs do the angels give you when they want your attention? and then how do they give you the messages? Is it like thought and you start writing it down, or sort of, walk us through the process of how you talk to them and how they talk to you and how you write down their messages?
When I'm working really strongly in faith and clarity, and I'm right there in the space, I get very clear words. I can see the angel. I can see the angel talking. I can hear the words, and I can write them down as I go. That's the clearest I get. Sometimes the connection isn't as clear, and I always blame myself. I always think, I've allowed myself to be a bit contaminated, or I'm not right in the zone, or something else. And then it might come as a big block, and I decipher that block of words of it's more an idea that comes. But then I go back and check with the angels if it is correct. I use a pendulum to check if it's correct before I send it out. And it usually is correct. It's usually all wonderful. But sometimes I get it wrong. And sometimes I start channeling one angel and I get interrupted. And when I come back and continue on the message, I might see that my handwriting has changed, or the wording's not in the same vein. And I check with the pendulum, and sure enough, another angel has come in while I've been absent. So you can't be distracted. You have to be really focused in a really quiet place. But it all works out in the end. It all, and I help so many people with these messages.
Hey, Carolyn, with the lockdown and a lot of groups are using Zoom and Zoom rooms, has anyone approached you to come and do a talk like you're doing tonight? Today, if it depends where you are on the planet, watching the show.
Yeah, no, not really. But a lot of people have contacted me. I've offered free healing for the COVID virus, and a lot of people have contacted me for that. But not groups, no, not talks.
Yeah, we've got a few people.
You mentioned that you've got a deal with the angels. What is the deal?
I transmit their message absolutely purely, absolutely pure. Whenever they come through with the message, I'm always available for them. Sometimes I have to put them off a little bit, might be out shopping or something, or have somebody with me or something, but the message, they'll just stay there until I'm ready. And then I will transmit their message, but it must be very pure. It cannot be contaminated by other people, and it cannot be contaminated by me. And I must put it out. It must go. It must be shared. I don't just keep it for myself. So every week I send out another message. And during the COVID, some weeks I've got 2 or 3 messages, and I sent them out as they came, because you can't just hoard them up. So I try always to put them out. I try to make myself available to do that.
And do you find that so that over time the urgency has increased or decreased in terms of you getting those messages out to the people who follow you?
There was a lot of talk about New Age around the 2012, and during that period I got a lot of New Age messages, and that went on for several years. And now people are asking more about New Age, and occasionally I get another one now. But there seems to be themes, and the theme now is love. We've got to love one another more is the theme now. That has been a general theme all the way through since I began this. But now it is very, very much we must love more. We must give more love. And when you think about all the awful things that are happening in America and the Middle East, you know, if only we could arrange for all these people to be miraculously loving, we could undo a lot of the harm that's happening. And also equality. Equality is coming up big just now, and I think this is about the awful things that are happening in America. All are created equal, divine, and in love. So then the next message is we all have free will. We have the free will to decide our own lives, if we are allowed, of course. Some people aren't allowed to decide what their life is. But the angel message is that it is ours. Free will is ours by divine right. So try telling that to a lot of wives, a lot of children. So many people caught up in horrible poverty and the dreadful factory life, and we hear about people in India and the Middle East. You know, girls in the Middle East can't go to school, and there's so much free will that is taken from us. But that is against our divine right. And when you go against a divine right, you lessen your own soul. You take from your own soul particles, your own soul power. You lessen yourself. So all those Muslim men who are saying girls may not go to school, they are lessening their own soul. When they die, they will not be the big, strong soul that they were born. So we are all born pure. We are all born with the right of free will, and we are all born pure and divine. We each carry within us the spark of divinity.
Mm. So with this place being a free will stadium, and you're getting messages and guidance from the angels, have you ever witnessed any intervention of angelic or divine will?
I'm not sure if you would call it intervention. I remember when I was first working with the angels, I had a little shop at Wynnum for 12 months, and a couple came in and they were deeply disturbed. They had all sorts of trauma in their background, and there were a lot of things that I was working with them, their own relationship, their relationship with their children, relationship with past partners, and there was a lot of stuff going on all at the same time. And I had the angels working with me. I had a candle burning, and they started talking about a son who had been traumatised by a previous partner and was so traumatised at 16 he was not speaking at all. And I was pretty badly affected by this. I thought, poor little boy. And they were going on about other issues, and I quickly wrote down this issue on a piece of slip of paper, a little bit of notepad. I folded it and put it under the candle and said to the angels, deal with this for me. I can't do it just now. Fix this for me. And later in that day, going on to nightfall, they called And Father was so excited. He said that the son was talking like a pommy radio announcer. So that wasn't angel intervention. What was?
That's pretty amazing.
It was amazing. But there's been a lot of those sorts of little incidences over the years.
So that one apart from providing the messages from the angels, is that you also mediate between your clients and the patients and the angels, and basically ask the angels to heal them. Is that how it works?
Always, always. I do Reiki. I am a Reiki master teacher, and I do a lot of Reiki and healing, but I always say prayers, and I do a special meditation where I take my client with me to a high angelic plane, and I ask for healing for them there, clearing, healing, and empowerment. And they're often given attunements there to the divine, so that they are connected to the divine. They are connected, their spark of divinity within their soul is connected back to the divine. Because a lot of people, because they don't believe and they don't have faith, they do become disconnected. But once they are connected, the tears flow, they're so happy, it just changes their whole lives, really, once they're connected. I want to do a meditation at the end of this talk and try to do that, try to reconnect people.
Oh, that'd be perfect. Okay, so before that happens, let's can I ask you just to move on to the talking about the rainbow healing energy, and I know that a lot of our listeners are actually interested in the rainbow energy, the rainbow healing body. I think the system that you, apart from Reiki, you are teaching a system called Ki Lao Te. Can you tell us a bit more about that, please?
Ki Lao Te is a great entity, a huge big eon, and she particularly wanted me to have this beautiful energy. Lord Maitreya, the healing Buddha, is the go-between between Ki Lao Te and myself, and he has helped me to establish this beautiful healing system. And it's not just one ray. Reiki is so beautiful and contains so much, but the Ki Lao Te is not just about healing, it's about being psychic, about being connected to the divine, about being intuitive to other people's needs. And also it brings in a beautiful energy that organizes your life so that your life just flows. It's really lovely the way it all works. But it's not just one thing, it's everything. It's quite remarkable. When you get onto this wavelength of Ki Lao Te, rainbow energy, you see rainbows everywhere and butterflies everywhere, and the light is more golden. It is just beautiful. It's a beautiful way to live.
So is it like a higher dimension? I mean, how did you stumble across this?
I was taken there in a meditation, and I met the Ki Lao Te, and the lady that was leading me through this meditation said that she was a higher being, but nothing much more than that. So when I got back home, I started working through Maitreya to establish who this was and what this was all about and why she had come to me. When she came to me, she was this huge being, and I could see her coming like a star towards me. But as she came towards me, I could see inside of her the whole universe. There was whole universes within this entity. And I think that was just explaining to me that this entity was bigger than I could possibly comprehend. Just beautiful, just really, but so complete. And as I've gone further and further along, I've realised that there's nothing you can't do once you have this Ki Lao Te. If it's for your highest good, then you can go ahead and do it. It's quite remarkable. Really lovely. I've just moved houses, and the place I've moved to is just beautiful, just really lovely, and really lovely energy coming up from below. It just sort of seeps into you. It's very lovely, but just perfect for me at this moment. So everything that you want just comes to you as time permits. I must admit that I waited about 6 months longer than I thought I should have for this property, but now everything's just perfect. But the Ki Lao energy I do use for healing, like Reiki, and I use it with my Reiki. And a lot of people call it Reiki, rainbow energy, or rainbow Reiki. I believe it's the same thing.
Okay. And so, just before we go into meditation, do you have any favorite archangels or ascended masters that that are your best friends?
How could you not be best friends with all the archangels and all the angels and all the ascended masters? Gabrielle comes to me and looks after me a lot because I'm a person of great emotions, and Archangel Gabrielle is the angel of emotions, and she keeps me on the straight and narrow and helps me to stay calm. And I have benefited greatly from her tuition over the years, but also I've passed on beautiful messages. Amazing Grace is one of them. And she's helped me, but in helping me, I pass her messages on, and then she's able to help so many others. Archangel Michael, of course, comes in with his big blazing sword. Many people will not admit even today that that is a sword of unconditional love, and that he is the angel of divine love. They can't accept that. They think he should be some sort of warrior. But no, he's all about love, and his weapon is love. And that was in the last message that I sent out, actually.
Jeff, have you had any experiences of Archangel Michael recently?
I'm a bit like Carolyn, I suppose. A bit like Henry has been putting some stuff up in the comments here. I think I have a lot of trust, not just faith. I don't know, just the knowing and you look after, eh? I mean, if I really went and dialed them up and say, excuse me, can I have so-and-so on the line? I'm quite sure I'll get them. You know? But
yeah,
I don't do that. I just feel that they're already there. The right person turns up to do the job. That's it.
Yeah, I try to step back and let the right person come in to do the job they want to do, because I know they know better than me. So that's another part of it, is stepping back and acknowledging that they are the divine.
Well, they can see what's actually going on. I mean, Julia, on Friday you come over and saw me all that time ago in October, and we just had a chinwag, eh? And then all of a sudden, boom, straight in your face was the Nike symbol. Just do it. And that was it. That was it. No contracts, nothing, just total faith. Ease and grace. That's how it works, isn't it? No, Julia.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I know. I think we sometimes get a bit hung up. When I first started, there was these big arguments about like whether Archangel Raphael was a he or a she. The same thing for Gabriel and Azriel. But you know, I think they are, to me, they are emanations of the divine and different aspects and qualities of divine. And when I see Archangel Michael, I usually basically see myself that small, kind of sitting on his shoulder. He's his brother taking care of me. And he's usually my go-to, like when I'm in a session and I need us to be doing the work in a space of truth or releasing contracts. Is pretty much the first one that I call on, or I know that is guiding me. So it's great. So Carolyn, would you like to take us into the meditation, or is there anything else you want to share? I don't know, Jeff, if the people are asking questions on the live comments that we want to address before we go into the meditation.
It's primarily Henry, and Henry is the founder and president of the Australian Spiritual Association.
All right.
So they offer a membership there that provides public liability or professional liability as well. So, Henry's been listening there, and he's mentioned that he survived the Catholic boarding school upbringing as well, and he's forever asking questions to them when he was a young boy, and the same answer was given: you must have faith. So I'm quite sure he's been quite tickled pink listening to you, Carolyn, realising that you're of the same vintage. Same scenario, whether you're male or female, it's just the way the Catholics. Well, you're a Catholic, you were somewhere else, weren't you? Who were you with?
Actually, it was an Anglican ladies' college.
But I think the age 9 is significant. They always say, that by the time we're 9, after we're 9, we kind of forget what our sole purpose is, what we came here for. And I've actually had quite a few clients who remember situations like that, not as bad as you in terms of the punishment, but one woman I remember, she was in the Catholic school, and it was a day school, and the Protestants were on the other side, and the nuns said, whatever you do, you must not talk to the children that go to the other school. And she couldn't understand the separation. So one day in her lunch break, she talked a friend into crossing the road and visiting the other school. And when she did that, there was this statue of Mother Mary that came to life for her. And it was absolutely beautiful. But when she got back, nobody believed her, and she was in so much trouble for going against the rules and crossing the road. It really burned her a bit. And then I think, as you say, if your mother doesn't believe you, that's like double the trauma.
Because all mothers got their mother network, isn't it?
But I guess, as a parent, you kind of just know that they're actually probably trying to protect you, or they're just, anyway, everybody's just doing the best they can. And Carolyn will help us do the best we can with a beautiful meditation now, if you're ready.
Hang on a sec, Carolyn.
Well,
I can't put the meditation on the radio station. I'll have to go back to this normal programming, because we're doing a meditation, and because of the radio and the audio, because we're designated as a tourist radio station, we've got the signs up around the countryside. People can start driving around and just go off to sleep.
Could I? Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
So
I will talk right through it. Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that we go simulcast both through the audio on the radio station live.
Yeah.
But we're also doing this through the video stream. So the video stream can work. I'll just switch the radio programming back to its normal program, and then when we've finished the meditation, we can come back and bring the radio back online. Okay?
Okay, then.
You okay with
that? Flip a switch.
Flick a switch. All right.
But thank you to the radio listeners who've been listening to us. And Carolynn Milne is beautiful. She's based on the Sunshine Coast, and she does a newsletter. So if you visit her website, which is called Listen the Angels Speak, or Angelic Connections, you can connect with her and find out more about the messages from the angels, or learn about healing from her directly. Thank you for joining us, radio showers and Facebook Live listeners and viewers. Ask us any questions you like, and hopefully we have time to talk to you after Carolynn Milne leads us through a meditation.
Okay. I want you all to sit comfortably, get the wriggles out of you, close your eyes, take a few slow, deep breaths right down into your tummy, and follow that breath right down, very deep, very slow. Just a couple more deep, slow breaths. Now, with your eyes closed, I want you to visualize with me a beautiful golden white light is opening up just behind you. You can just take one step. Don't get up and take a step. I mean, just visualize that you are taking one step backwards and into that beautiful white spotlight, golden white spotlight. Golden white always takes you straight up to the angelic realm. I am there with you in that golden white light. And together we go straight up. It's like beam me up, Scotty. And suddenly we're up in the angelic realm. The angelic realm is very lovely today. Beautiful white light everywhere. Beautiful gardens all around. Lovely angels with flowers and butterflies. Everything that you could ever wish for. The angels gather around you, all of your guardian angels, guardians and guides. They guide you to a beautiful deep blue pool, and you plunge right in, right to the bottom of this pool. In this magical, angelic water, you can breathe. So rest gently on the bottom. This beautiful water will remove from you all that is not yours by divine right, all that you have gathered or had imposed upon you in this lifetime, past lifetimes, and between lifetimes. All that holds you back now is being dissolved from you. All illness, all dis-ease from all of your body, your organs, your cellular memory, DNA, RNA, from your brain, your eyes, your ears, your limbs, your bones, your joints, all being dissolved out into this water and completely dissolved, completely taken from you. All that is not yours by divine right, all that holds you back now. Take a deep breath and let it flow from you. Breathe it out. Now you are light. All the heaviness has gone. Any lumps that you can feel, pull from you now. Any heaviness, remove. You're feeling lighter and lighter, and you're floating more and more to the surface. Now your head's popped out of the surface, and the angels pull you up onto the shore, up onto the bank of the pool. Now that all that is not yours by divine right has been removed, all that is yours by divine right can be brought into you. The angels are beaming beautiful beams of healing light towards you, filling you with beautiful energy, white gold light from the bottoms of your toes right up to the top of your head, and it spills out of you, filling your aura until it touches your solar star, which is just above your head. And as it does, beautiful stream of gold white light comes down from the divine. This is your beautiful divine connection. It comes down through your solar star, through your crown, through your third eye, through your throat, down through your heart chakra, to nestle in your soul center just below your heart. And there is your beautiful guardian angel to seal that beautiful divine connection in your soul center. It goes on from your soul center, down through your base chakra, through your feet chakra, down through the earth, to the divine Mother Gaia in the center of the earth. She ties it off and sends it back to you with this message. I seal this energy stream with me and send it back to you so that you may know the abundance, the joy, and the love that is available to you on this plane comes back to your soul center, where it is sealed again. Now look and see what other beautiful energy streams are coming in now to you. Energy streams, divine connections. Now we're going to ask Lord Maitreya if you are ready yet for the Ki Lao Te, the rainbow energy attunement. And if you are ready, he will tie a beautiful rainbow energy attunement to your soul. And it will also run down to Gaia and back to your soul. See this beautiful attunement and any other beautiful attunements being tied here in your soul, sealed by Lord Maitreya, the beautiful healing Buddha. And now we ask for a blessing for each and every one of you. The blessing that flows down, the beautiful attunement that you have received, the beautiful divine connection. It flows down that divine connection through your crown, throat, heart. It lands in your soul center and it explodes like a beautiful bliss bomb, filling you with the beautiful divine energy from the Divine Father himself. This time it is white, blindingly white, and it fills you up with purity, with love, with compassion, with joy. And there is peace. The sort of peace that Jesus described as passing all understanding. Soak this beautiful energy up. Feel it soaking out into your aura and wrapping around you like a big cuddle. There are beautiful angels all around. They are sending you love and messages and hope and lots of peace. And they are saying, love, love is all there is. Live in love, and you will know true peace, joy, abundance, and happiness. There is no righteousness without peace. Now it is time for us to return. We are here surrounded by the beautiful angels. Thank your beautiful angels now. Thank them for your lovely healing and divine connections. Thank them for the beautiful divine grace that they have sent to you. Thank the Divine Father. Now there before you is that beautiful golden white spotlight that brought you here. Step forward into that spotlight And straight away you are transformed back to where you were when you started the meditation. And we are back with you.
Wow, I'm still floating. I literally floated back in. When I went in, I was actually a whale at the bottom of the pond. Wow.
It's a bit hard to move from one place to another in that, isn't it? You sort of get sucked into one bit.
Oh. Wow.
You're listening to Radio FM 88 Australia. We've just come back on the air, on the radio itself. And our guests in the virtual studios, Carolynn Milne and Julia Choi. It's our Thursday night show. And for those who've been on the video stream, thank you for participating. Okay, now that we've brought the radio station back online, Julia and Carolynn, carry on, mate.
That was gorgeous. Thank you, Carolynn. It was a beautiful meditation. I did remember, just as we're going in, that there was one question that I really, 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 really wanted to ask you, because I know that you're probably my best chance of getting a credible and unbiased answer. And it basically comes from a session that one of my clients had many years ago, and it was about remembering being a fallen angel.
Oh.
It was seriously like they'd landed and it was like, oh, we can't go back. Oh, we're in trouble. Oh, we're really in trouble kind of situation. And, then just getting used to it and then sort of just over different lifetimes, just taking on a kind of guardianship role for And I remember at that time, and this was many years ago, this is probably back in 2008 that happened, and I've watched different media and news and tried and read about it, but I've never found a credible source. So I guess the question is, what are your thoughts on fallen angels? Is that story true? Does it exist?
Yes.
Why did they fall?
Definitely, yeah. And as another part of my work that I do is behind the scenes, I'm asked to sometimes help fallen angels, to say the words, to take them out, or to bring the angels down to take them out back home, to rescue them. Angels, fairies, elementals, guardians of places, guardians of things, guardians of events, guardians, guides, dragons. I have worked with a lot of dragons. A lot of Asian people have dragons. It's part of their culture. Their grandparents ask for dragons for them, and it's part of a lot of different cultures. And these dragons become very real. There's also Celtic dragons, there's good dragons, there's naughty dragons, but fallen angels are always very sad to me. It's always a really heart-wrenching thing. And I always call for all the angelic help and dive in to ask that they be taken back to where they belong, back to their plane. And they're always rescued, they're always helped. But it is a tragedy, yeah, when an angel falls, it is a tragedy. But it's not so much fallen because they've done something wrong. I think often it's fallen because they were down here helping us, but then we're tricked into doing something wrong or trapped in some way by evil. There was evil. There isn't any evil anymore. It is all gone. And that's something that happened the beginning of this year. But there's no more evil. People always have the choice, because they have free will, they can choose to be evil at any time. Lost and earthbound evil, or evil fallen angels, anything like that. I've only ever come across one evil fallen angel in all of the work that I've done. So it doesn't happen very often, and it's always heartbreaking to me. Did that answer your question, or have I just confused everyone now?
I've got more questions now. So I guess definition. So how do you know that you're dealing with a fallen angel? Or what is your definition of a fallen angel?
The angels tell me what it is.
Okay.
So I'm told what it is. Either angel or betrayer or one of the other masters or Jesus. Somebody tells me this is fallen angels. You must help the fallen angels. Or this is elementals that have been trapped by some evil shaman. That has happened. A lot of trapped angels and elementals that have been trapped by evil practitioners. Yeah, so there are such things. It's a bit hard to believe. I can never understand it myself. But
I understand that with the elementals, and I think with the jinn, and even in Harry Potter, you've got sort of allusions to that. I've dealt with that. So with the fallen angels, they were actually angels who were, as you said, either here, but there wasn't a big battle, and then some of them got stuck here and have been banished from returning.
No, I don't get that whole thing about there being banished angels and things. I don't understand that. I've never seen it. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. It just means that I have not been shown that scenario. All the angels that have been fallen that I have seen have come down to help and then been either trapped by evil or corrupted by evil and then could not return. So...
Okay, and then Carolynn, you said something really interesting. You said as of this year, there is no more evil apart from what we humans create. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Well, apparently it was the right time for all the behind-the-scenes evil to be taken out. All demons, devils, anything like that, anything that could be used to harm others has been taken away. And apparently we just reached a point in our evolution when it was time for that to be all taken away. And it was. It's pretty good. I haven't come across very much at all. And when I do, I tell the angels about it and they deal with it. So it's really good that we don't have to worry about so many people's lives, and mental health, I believe, was destroyed by demons and devils and evil witchcraft and, that dark magic, that awful dark magic. But all that's gone. They can't use it. There's nothing there for them. So it's really lovely. A lot of people will hate me for that, but I don't care.
I think it's great news. I mean, this
is the best age to be in. This is going to be fabulous.
So all that's left is basically the mess that we created, and we've got to tidy up now.
We've got to tidy up our mess. And we've got to stop hating people. Hate is such a destructive thing. And you can see the destruction it causes in America. It's just awful. And in the Middle East, it's just so unnecessary, such unnecessary destruction. And they're not just destroying the people they feel they hate, but they're destroying their own community, their own ability to create and be abundant. They're just destroying everything. It's just silliness. Yep. So, the greatest evil on earth now is hate. And we can control that. We do have free will. We can stop that.
Yeah, I guess that's probably the lesson for us at this time, is to, in the face of hate, I mean, most of us recognize when we're fostering it and step away from that, but it can be scary when you're faced with entrenched mob type hate. And I think a lot of us have had past lives where we've been at the wrong end of that, and we tend to just run and hide from it. But I guess, like the Ascended Masters, it's kind of our challenge to now stand firm in the face of it and not be fazed by it, and to look beyond it, to see beyond it. Because that's the only way, really, isn't it? To not
I
be
met
swayed.
a lovely lady in Adelaide, and all of her children had died or been killed. She'd lost 3 sons and one was in a bad way. And she came and said, why? Why me? And I saw her very clearly in the last lifetime that she had lived, in the last World War, shooting another woman's sons. And that was her. She was working through her karma. Now, this wasn't something that was done to her. This wasn't a punishment. This was her soul wanting to work through her karma and to make it better. And so her soul would be whole again. Now, you've got to ask, what about the poor sons that were killed? Now, that is something that was karma they had chosen to take on for that lifetime. So they had chosen to be the victims in this lifetime so that this soul could work through all her karma in one lifetime. So, and you think about all the other souls that are involved in that scenario, her husband, the father of the children, the father of the boys, their grandparents, all of those souls must have agreed to that horrendous lifetime. But this is what happens from hate. This comes from hate. If he had not hated and shot those sons, this would not be her lifetime. She would not have had all that karma to work through. So there is you can't just be evil and get away with it. You might not go to jail, but you always have to go back to the divine and say, here I am, this is what I've done. Look at my soul. And they can see everything you've done. Of course, and you can see it. Worst of all, you can see it because you judge yourself. You are your greatest judge. You are the person. Your soul is what says, no, I have done a wrong thing. This has been a bad lifetime for me. I have got to make up for these dreadful things that I have done. I've got to live a life now of selflessly giving, or of losing all my children, or of not having a wife this lifetime or something. So there's always payback, or not payback in the punishment sense, but you must pay back the debt that you have incurred upon your soul. And the big souls that you see blossoming in this lifetime are the souls that have lived many lifetimes without having hated, without having destroyed. That's how you get to be an angel.
Oh, there you go. That's the secret recipe. Yeah, I mean, I understand that with the karma because I do past lives, and often clients get shown lives which explain the misfortune or the quandaries that they're in this lifetime. But I also think that some of us are able to be the avatars this time, and we're actually able in this timeline still to go back and clean up in the other lifetimes and undo and redress and rebalance. But it seems like we have special dispensation to be able to do this now. So it's like everything's been compressed. We don't have to live the whole lifetime, but we can sort of go behind the scenes and change things. But I think the other drive is to connect more, as you brought us in the meditation to the higher realms, to the interdimensionality, for us to be not just acting as actors in a play. Okay, I'm stuck with this play.
Yeah.
But also to go behind the scenes and remember that that a part of us is it's not limited to its physical form, and that it is connected to the divine, as you did in that beautiful meditation, and as such be a channel for the divine. And when we do that, there's so many more options that are available to us, that rather than our usual sort of tragedies and comics and plays, the normal human life play that we kind of get taught about by the Greeks and the Charles Dickens and the Russian Dostoevskys.
Yeah. We seem to relive it, don't we? Over and over and over. Yeah. There is a court of justice that you can go to.
Yeah.
And you can take your grievances to the court of justice. So if you're not you feel that you've been unjustly treated here on earth, you can do that same type of meditation I did, but when you step in the light, you imagine that you've got hold of the perpetrator of the crime against you, or whoever, however many there are, and take them all with you. All of the bad guys, take them up to the Court of Justice and just ask Archangel Michael to take them to the Court of Justice, or King Solomon does a lot of that sort of work. You whiz straight up to the Court of Justice, big hall, alabaster thrones everywhere, and people sitting in judgment. And it's Maat, the the Egyptian goddess, and King Solomon sit in judgment, and you kneel before them and you put your case. You just say your case. This is what these people did to me, and you show a vision of what they did, you know, like playing a movie in your head of the horrible scene that happened. And then you say, I want justice, and you step back and you let them deal with the case. But when you step back, you have to witness what happens, what they say, and any interactions that happen, but then you are taken out. Now, you always know in your heart, this is the faith part, that injustice has been dealt with. Now, you might not see it in your lifetime, but chances are you will, and you will see that the person who perpetrated that injustice will come a cropper sooner or later, will have to, may not ever pay you back the money, but may have to pay it to somebody else, may lose it to somebody else, or lose a lot more to somebody else, or something of that nature. There's always some comeback to that person when you go to the Court of Justice. Now, if that doesn't happen, and they get right through life with never having dealt with it, when they go up and their soul faces Judgment Day, then they will lose a lot of soul particles. People who do nasty things lose soul particles, but I believe they lose the soul particles as they're doing the evil deeds. Really evil people, I have looked at their soul particles, their count, and they have no soul particles left. When they go up, they're nothing. They've used it all up. There's nothing left to go to redemption.
Does that tie in with the Buddhist idea? I don't know whether it's Buddhist or whatever, but or Tibetan, that you actually have to accumulate enough what you would call soul particles so that they can float up to the next highest level. Yeah.
And the more you have, the higher you go. Yeah.
Oh. Well, thank you for sharing that. I'd never heard of the International Court of Justice, and it's given me an idea for somebody I'm working with. I think we're going to try that out. Thank you very much. So, Carolyn, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
I have a webpage, listentheangelspeak.com.au. Listentheangelspeak, all one word, .com.au, and you can leave me a message there, or you can email me on Carolynn Milne, just as it is spelt, .com.au. No gap between Carolynn Milne, just all one word. Gmail.com, sorry. CarolynnMilne@gmail.com. That's in my webpage anyway, so if you just go to the webpage, you'll find it.
Yeah, we've got your addresses. Jeff's done the captions for us, so
it's beautiful.
And the book as well. Sorry, that's beautiful. Well, thank you very much, Carolyn and the angels, for joining us, and Lord Maitreya and everybody else. It's been a blessing. It really has. Not just to us who are listening now, but also to the ones who will be watching this in the future. And thank you from my heart and my soul and my mind to each of you.
And thank you, Jeff. You've done a wonderful job. And I really do appreciate this opportunity to bring more messages to more people. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. All right. Good night, everyone.
Well, good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Okay, friends as well. Okay. There's a comment there just coming in. Hang on. Elizabeth, thank you for the meditation. Okay, very good. Thank you. See you next Thursday.
Okay, bye. Good night.